Hello guys, this is Paula back. I am sorry I did not do a video yesterday. I was super busy and trying to decide what to do as far as my design team project. So I am here today to show you what I've come up with. So this Alice in Wonderland, I'm getting needles as we talk here, I'm sorry, is basically not like the full story of Alice in Wonderland. It's just basically all about, it's called All About Alice is what it is. So it does have some images and some different types of quotes and so forth. It's kind of like the, it's not in order like a book. It's just quotes and it's more in keeping with the principles of Alice, the principle of Alice. So, all right, but I really love the color scheme that I decided to go with this book, and I'm looking for a needle that doesn't have a giant hole, so it doesn't punch a big hole in my fabric. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to show you the book. I'm going to show you what I've come up with so far as the, oh my goodness, if I can find a needle. I don't know if this is going to be big enough. Oh, here's one. Listen, I've got a million needles in it. Isn't it funny how you have all these needles and then got to come up with one and you have to dig through them all. All right, so there we go with that one. And let's just put all this in a bag and scoot it to the side. So I did go antiquing today in another little town, and my brother and his wife went with us. We had a good time. I got some great stuff. And of course, it's all for journaling. For making journals. Okay, so I have 2 signatures, okay? I did not have a book the right size as the papers that come in the kit, which are, this is one of them. And so what I decided to do was just cut out some chipboard. And I didn't want to get on here, and I had never used canvas before. And I didn't want to get on here. This is the inside. I didn't want to get on here and experiment with something. I will tell you that canvas does, or glue does, the Fabri-Tac does seep through the canvas. No matter how much you put on it, it's just going to seep through there. But it's okay because I had already decided that I was going to cover it in a type of paper. And so I chose these 2, and I wanted the inside to be the 2 different ones. This is Fancy Free by Paige Evans, which is, I'm trying to think of the other name of it. Something Paisley. Anyway, so that's the paper pad for this one. And so what I decided to do is there was 3 different papers I used. And this is the 3rd one. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to flip through the signatures. This is signature 1. And here's when Alice is looking at the bottle and it says, "Drink me." And there's going to be some little things that it says down in here. And I just loaded this like a normal journal. Everything has been tea stained, even the Alice sheets. I'm just kind of showing you here just the different papers. Some tea stain papers. This is another digital one, and the picture will be on the other side. And here's the blue that you saw earlier on the outside. Some different journaling type pages with a little tiny grid right here. And then this is a high school dictionary. Some grid paper. printer paper, and daily planner. This is a things to do sheet, which I really like. I think the colors go just right. And this is the caterpillar from Alice. Tea stain paper. Just some really pretty butterfly paper, which, by the way, was tea stained, so that's why you're seeing a variance of color. And then here is the center of the signature. Now this has not been inked. None of these papers have been inked, the ones that need it, which would be the cardstock. So here we go. Here's some more paper. I'm just going to flip through these pretty quick. Both signatures are really similar. The papers for the kit are different, and I'll show you those. I was kind of slow to get started on this, and then I just kind of found myself where, okay, this isn't something you want to do on camera. You know, it takes too long. And so here is, what is the cat's name? I don't remember, but you guys will remember the cat's name. I never, ever as a child watched the movie, read the book, or anything, or been to one of the productions. I've never been an Alice fan. I think I tried to watch it once. It just wasn't my thing, but I'm telling you, it's loved by so many people. So, I got some really cool books today as we continue through the flip, through the signature. Here is Alice again. And then here is the back, which, you know, I like the way it starts off with a different. I did a little bit of lace here on the seam on the inside of the book. Okay, and that's signature 1. Here is signature 2. Get through here, some of the same papers. I'm just going to flip and you guys can look. Of course, these will be positioned as necessary. Here is the cards, the ones that are the spades. I don't know the story, but you guys do. Some of you anyway. And more planner sheets, dictionary sheets, grids, printer paper, planner, things to do. Here's the Mad Hatter. And on we go. Hope you guys had a good Saturday. We really did. I mean, you know, going down and antiquing is always a blast. And I'm getting where I get faster and faster because I know exactly what I need. Here's the rabbit carrying his little watch. Okay, and here we go. Same paper, type papers. And talks about the Queen of Hearts at the end. And of course, this is not, oh, here's the cat again. Okay, so this kit has 6 pages that go into the journal, and you mix your papers in. You could put them in there twice if you wanted to. You could put them in each signature, however you want. But then there's lots of other goodies that go with it. I'm going to move these signatures to the side. Let's see. Let me move this book over here. Here's a pocket. It says "Drink Me" on it. And I know there's tags that go with that. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Let me think, was I the same when I got up this morning? These are some of the tags. This is funny. I don't even know what it's about, but it looks... The illustrations on this, I guess, are some of the original illustrations. And, you know, they're really cool. And there's like 3 different colors. It's like a 3 different color scheme. Here's a pocket, and it goes with the, I believe there's a library card. Yes, right here. This is the library card that goes in this pocket. Cute, right? And here's Tweedledee and Tweedledum on this larger envelope. And then we've got the spades of the hearts. Again, I mean, not the hearts, the cards. And here is the caterpillar. And it says here, I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person then. So I guess here is the meal they had with the rabbit and the Mad Hatter and Alice. And then here's the Mad Hatter. You're entirely bonkers, but I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are. I like that. And here is one of the rabbits, Alice. These are little pockets. Some tickets with different images on it. Here's some little flags that you can do together. And I think they're, yeah. Then there's arrows. It says that way, wrong way, this way, tea party. So those are cute. And then 2 circle images. So this is all the stuff you get to work with in the book. And then you get to use your imagination to do the rest. Now, you can add whatever you want and however you want to do the book. But I decided that I just was in the mood to stitch. So I'm not going to stitch on this part of the book, but I'm going to stitch on some muslin. And I'm not going to stitch this whole thing, but I thought we could look at it at least and show you the 2 colors, which are the same colors that are in the book. They're real close. I mean, super close. And so I think I'm going to do it with 3 strands and see how it turns out. And initially I thought I would do these as like cross stitch, but I think I'm going to do them either as a chain stitch or a back stitch because, and I might practice it on some other fabric, but you know, I don't want it to pucker, and sometimes when you do like a crisscross or a cross stitch, you'll get a little bit of pull on some kinds of fabric. And so I think we'll start with the darker on the outside because the darker is the cover on the inside and the back of the book. And so this is going to be on the front of the book, if it turns out like I have in mind. Now I may add some other things. Let me hold it up where you can see. I might add some other things, but we'll see. Now this, I did this with a sewing template that was from Stampin' Up, and I don't think this is available anymore. But just so you know, that's what it came from. But there are other templates out there I'm sure you can find. So I just did this flower, and I just used these lines to go around the outside. Simple. And I just thought, you know, I want to do something different. And so I'm not going to get a huge amount of string at one time because I don't like to deal with it getting all tangled up. If you've never separated DMC floss, I'm going to show you. There's 6 strands. Excuse me. 6 strands on here. And you just get 3 of them. You separate them at the end of the floss like that. So I've got 3 in each hand. So I'm just going to pull straight out. And it's going to look like it's getting tangled. And if you don't do it right, it will. And then, voila, it's separated. So, now, And I just kind of wet the end of it. I just kind of wet it and then get it threaded. I don't think any of that made sense, but then you'll want to thread it, not threaded. But you need really good light if you're like me and older. Now, we don't have to do a knot if you don't want any bulkiness, but I'm going to do a small knot. I'm not going to do a giant one, but I just pull it down around my index finger and twist it and push that into the circle and pull. Now, I think most of you probably know how to thread a needle, but just in case there's some super newbies out there, I got this center off a little bit, but it's not really that noticeable. So we'll see what we end up doing with it. I don't know. Now, I don't want to put the knot in the corner because I think it'd be too obvious. So I'm just going to, let's start at the bottom. We'll just start at the bottom. Now, normally when I sew, I'll have a hoop or something because it makes it go lots faster and lots simpler. So you're going to come up one hole and we're going to do the chain stitch. So I'm thinking you go down the back, you go back one. Yes, if I can get it to feel right, because it's just this small piece of cloth, and you know. So now you're going to go, and really you should use even numbers of strands when you do a chain stitch. I didn't think about it when I was threading it, but it's not a big deal. So you just go back up between, you go back to the stitch, and you go up the center and get the needle in between the, I got to do it first before I can show you. There, up through the center of the string, and you just want to pull it so it doesn't have, it's not gapping open. And then you go back down the next hole in front, which is going to be to your right or to your left, depending on how you sew. And then you'll notice this one's straighter and this one's fuller, and that's because I went backwards and went up between the thread. Separated it, if I can get in there. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go down the next, which really I just used a permanent marker to do my little polka dots here for my stitching. And you want to keep your fabric pulled. You don't want to let it pucker and get tight. So you want to keep it loose. And when you have to worry about that is when you go up between the thread as you go backwards. And you just, the back stitch, you can do the back stitch. It just doesn't give you as much texture as the smaller, or the chain stitch. You don't get as much texture with a back stitch. I'll get it out in a minute. I lost my train of thought because I am trying to concentrate on sewing and talking to you at the same time. Let's see. Let me get up through there. I haven't done needlework in a little bit. I do cross stitch. That's really the only hand stitching I do, except for something like this. I do stitch on paper. I've done it a ton of times with my granddaughters. Now, because we're at a corner here, we're just going to go down in this hole at the end of our stitch, right here. I hope you guys can see this. I'm trying to keep my big old hands out of the way. Let me bring it up a little bit. Maybe you can see better. I don't know if you can see well enough or not, but we're going to move it up. And then you're just going to pull it down because you're going to turn a corner. So you want to start underneath. So there's the first 4 stitches. And now you're going to come over to the next dot. So we can turn our fabric to the direction that we're working now. And you're going to go back. You never want to go down or up the same hole back to back, because you know, it does make a difference. Okay, now we're going to go up here, separate the floss. Whoops, that one's not separating. Okay, come on. It's late. It's about 11 o'clock p.m. and you know, full day out antiquing, and I can tell it. So I guess I ended up doing the inside with the grayish blue instead of the outside. It really doesn't matter. I mean, to each their own. And I may do them both the same color and then do the flower a different color. We'll just see. But this part does take a little bit, and I didn't want to bore you guys stitching the whole thing, because it would be next week. No, I'm just kidding. It would be several hours. And so what I plan on doing is working ahead. I work on this in the evenings when I'm sitting on the couch, and then bring it back to you as I need to and let you see what's going on. But in the meantime, we can make some embellishments, and we can maybe even bind the book at some point. But I've also want to stitch some of the pages. You know, I always like to stitch pages. But I won't stitch very many, because it gives you more freedom to do whatever you want to do. Like if you want to put lace on it or something. I'm not putting lace on this book. I think it's a definite journaling book. They all are, but I mean, this one is more serious of a journaling book. I think what I'm going to do instead is put muslin tabs, and I may stitch on some of them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what we can end up doing. Now, that stitch right there is not as perfect as I would like it to be, but it is what it is. Okay. Trying to get up between them. There we go. If you can hold your thread tight by using your thumb and your index finger, that does help. This was pretty tedious doing this. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be, but getting it straight, getting the muslin, you know, square as I wanted it, and even coming up with a design, you know, like I knew I wanted to go around it with 2 stripes, but I still really don't know. In the inside here, I probably will stitch this and then stitch this like a flower, and then I might add some more of the small ones in random places, or who knows, there's no telling what I might come up with in the next day or two. But I thought we could do this, would be fun and different, and just remind you that everything is endless when you're making your journals. You can do whatever you feel like doing, and that's the fun part of it. I'm going to kind of turn it this way now because I can see better from this direction, and I can also get it down through this the next hole. But you can see how full this stitch is. If you do a back stitch, it's just flat down. This brings it up and gives the thread more of a puffy look. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Paige Evans' videos. She's a designer for Pink Paisley, which is a paper line, And this paper came, like I said, out of Fancy Free. But she does, I've never seen anybody that stitches on paper as much as she does. And difficult stuff. And she prefers this stitch over a straight stitch or a back stitch. And her paper, oh my gosh, you just have to go look. She does scrapbooking, and she makes mini albums. And she does journal in them, but she mostly puts a picture, and her husband's traveled all over the place. You know, he's been in the service. And I think they just now settled down in Texas. And I guess he's retired from the service. But they've been to every country. I mean, anything you can imagine. And she's done albums. You could go back and binge watch her videos. She's amazing. Her videos aren't super long, and they're not boring at all. And so she has designed several paper lines for Pink Paisley. She just did a video of her new scrapbook room in Texas. Oh, it was amazing. She likes to combine multicolors, and so her whole room is different colors, and I think it's like a base white with some of the furniture, and then it just goes off, and it's all different stuff and different colors to go along with it. I know she's worked for some different design companies too, but she has the two cute little kids, Fox and Jane are their names, and I just thought those were cute little names, and they're cute kids. I don't want to keep stitching and bore you to death, but this is my plan, is to do this. So, as you see, I think I like it. I might do this color because I like it better on the green with the blue. I don't know how it would look if I added green here. So both of those may be blue, and we can go from there. But I also wanted to tell you that my plan is, I have a little golden book I need to work on also, after this. And then I have several Easter little golden books. And so I thought we could make a couple Easter books. And I know that Easter is not until April, I believe, or late March, but I thought we could get them made, and whoever's wanting an Easter book would have one available. I plan to do, my plan is to put buttons on the spine of one of them, and then maybe a tassel on the other one, just to kind of give them that spring, happy, pastel beauty. I also today got some beautiful covers. I'm gonna grab them. They're right here. Now these are not little golden books, but I'm gonna set this aside for now. These were 50 cents a piece, I want you to know. But look how beautiful they are. And all three of them, one is the tail of Benjamin Bunny, and one is the tail of Peter Rabbit, and the tail of Tom Kitten. Now this one will have to have its spine. This one is not in very good condition, and I didn't realize it in the store. Now, these do not have regular pages, but I am going to tell the story. You'll see. We will get the story in there. I don't know. We probably won't do the kitten one, but we may do these if we have time. I just think they're so cute. And I will enlarge the spine on them and everything. But, yeah. The story is in here, and I figure I can type this story on different cardstocks or whatever, however I want to do it, and we will make it our own. But I just think the outside of the books are beautiful. And I got some little golden books, and I got this little Tale of Peter Rabbit just because the images were so cute in it. Look at those. How cute is that? Of course, it's not going to come off of there. 50 cents for this little book. And I'm going to have to clip that to get it to come off, it looks like. There we go. But, yeah, look how precious. All those little bunnies and squirrels and ducks and whatever you want to call it. And look at this, how precious. I love this book. It was first published in 1902. And it was, the new reproductions copyright was 1987. Isn't that interesting? I always love to look at the copyright. And if you look, the images are so pretty. And I may, let's see, is one of these books the same book? The Tale of Peter Rabbit. No, that's Benjamin Bunny. This one's Peter Rabbit right here. So I may use these images in this book. And to make it different, you know, than the other. But yeah, it's just got a great, every now and then you come along and you look at this, he did lay in there, snoozing. It's nothing sweeter than little bunnies. Look at this one looking at the goldfish, this little cat. He's like, I want you for dinner. But anyway, so I thought for 50 cents, and it was 50 cents for these others, I'm like, no way I'm leaving that and not trying to do something with it. So that is the plan. And what else did I get? I got a children's dictionary, which you know is great. I got an old vintage typewriter book, which is really cool. I got, I'm looking at my shelf. I actually got two dictionaries. One is called The First Dictionary, which, you know, is for younger people. And then I got the Children's Dictionary. And I got, oh my goodness, I'm going to grab it. I should have had these ready for you guys to see, but I really wasn't going to show you. I was going to wait and surprise you. But I'm looking here to see if I can find some of them. Well, there's just a lot of children's books, but I'm going to show you this because I haven't decided yet. But my children's nursery, when they were little, both of them, my son and my daughter, because I didn't know if I was having a boy or girl, so I just did Raggedy Ann and Andy. And I want you to see this book I found. Can you see? Look how old this book is. It's worn smooth out. I have in my mind that I can operate on it. We'll just have to see. I think it could be dyed, you know, and then maybe some gel medium or something put on it to seal it once it's cleaned up. And then look at this one. It's made, they're both by the same author. And I thought that was kind of cool that they were both in the same store by the same author. One is Andy and one is Anne. So I may have to do a set thing. But see, you can see where some of the pages are scribbled on, but the majority are not. Just the front apart. This is a 1960 book. And this is I think this is a newer one. Look at that image. Pretty. 1961. So this one was not as loved as this one. This is what I'm saying. It's what it looks like to me. But I think even though they're just a year apart in copyright, I think it's interesting that the Andy looks like a much older illustration than the Anne. So, and it says it's stories. So that tells me there must be more than one story in here. Yes, there is. Look at those. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I love the images in this. And I have some little golden books that are Raggedy Ann and Andy. At some point I will do. I love these illustrations. Are cool. I haven't even like really got to sit down and look at it because I was so... Oh, there's one page that got marked on. I would really love to figure out a way to keep some of the pages, but I probably will just make stuff out of the pages. Like here's Santa with Raggedy Ann, Andy. Look at those. And I did find another very cool book. It will be closer to the season, spring, before I do this next book I'm going to show you. And of course I was over there and I didn't grab it. So let me grab it. It's just right by my desk. The next book that let me see what I did with it first. I'm protecting it. Well, I just had it. Maybe it's over on my table. It's because I can't decide what or when I want to do it. Well, I will have, oh, there it is. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. Here's another little golden book I got too. Lively Little Bunny. It's cute. But are you ready for this? You're not going to believe this. Look at this book. The Secrets of Mother Nature. Is that not cool? Okay, so this lady wanted $27 for this book. And I walked away with it at $10. This is a unique book. Let me see the copyright on it. 1942. Look at these illustrations. Let me hold it up a little bit. This is the same picture as what's on the front of the book. Let me see if that helps. Helps a little bit, doesn't it? Not much. It doesn't have a ton of illustrations, I don't think. But it's more about that beautiful cover and all the information regarding different birds inside the book. It's the front of the book that's super cool. And it is going to be a special springtime book. So, and I plan on doing, of course, several different botanicals, but also butterflies and gardening. I got two really cool 3-ring binders today, and I'll show you. Let me grab it. I should have just had everything ready to show you guys, but you're not going to believe this. They're identical. I was trying to pull this price tag off, but I'm going to have to get my glue be gone or whatever. These covers are beautiful, full of color, and it is house plants, but it doesn't matter. It is really pretty, and it is a full 3-ring binder on this particular one. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but as you can see, it was one of those that you purchase, and then, you know, it will not come with all of these, but it will have some of these in the book when I decorate it. It will be a journal, but it will be in this 3-ring binder, which the front and back both are decorated, and there will be nothing we have to do to the outside. I mean, even the corners in good condition. My mother used to have house plants, and half the time they look like they were begging for help. I don't know about you guys, if you remember those as you was growing up. But okay, guys, it's been, believe it or not, already 40-something minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this new book looks fun to you as much as it does to me. And I'm hoping that I can come up with a way. I think if I can come up with a way to put this fabric onto a piece of cardstock or something, so that when I put it down on the book, I may put it on a piece of like poster board and then put it down just so it has some height, or we'll see. But I am going to bring it up off the cover or the book. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I wish you guys would please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it so much. We have fun. And I don't, you know, I'm not a super big planner. I know in my head what I want to do, and it will just pop up one day and I say I'm going to do that today. So it's always going to be a surprise, pretty much. So this book also, I didn't tell you, it is, let me tell you what the size is. It is 7 by 5. Yeah, 7 by 5. And I did not have a book that size, so I had to just make my own book. I just got some heavy chipboard and just made the whole book. And covered it in tea-stained canvas, which I told you earlier, canvas, you're going to have glue come through it. So the places you don't see any glue seeping through is because, you know, I have it covered here. So that made a difference. Alright, guys, I've already said my goodbyes. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.